As has been immortalized in Bill Carter's 1994 book, The Late Shift, when Johnny Carson retired from NBC's The Tonight Show, David Letterman was expected to take over the slot. After all, he hosted Late Night with David Letterman, which followed Carson's show and was a hit with younger audiences. Instead, NBC chose frequent guest host Jay Leno. Letterman, feeling snubbed, jumped ship to CBS and launched The Late Show, leaving an empty desk at the Late Night, which was eventually filled by Conan O'Brien. Late Night with Conan O'Brien has since earned cult status. Its surreal, experimental humor and Conan's offbeat charisma made it a beloved outlier in the late-night landscape. This video is not about Conan O'Brien. Chris Gethard is a comedian and actor who you might recognize as that one guy from that one episode from the second worst season of Parks and Recreation. Yes, no one is immune to catching strays around here, even if you are one of my heroes.
Put the manure down! Put it down! Do not throw it! Do not! Ow!
But among us comedy nerds, Gethard is most well known for The Chris Gethard Show, a messy, yet heartfelt, but overall deeply weird, variety/talk/call-in show that started on public access and the internet. It evolved from a live stage show at the Upright Citizens Brigade and later aired on Fusion TV and then True TV. The format usually went something like this. The topic, gimmick, or even challenge for the episode would be introduced, and then the show would unfold with Gethard's usual cast of characters, a semi-usual random guest, and then guests for the episode. Throughout the show, the cast for the episode would take calls, video calls, and even talk in an online chat room about the topic of the episode. In a word, the program was chaotic. Due to the nature of the show, it was unprecedented the kind of things that would happen. For example, one episode happened where the entire cast of the show, except for guest Seth Meyers, had been awake for 36 hours straight right before filming. Another took place in front of an audience made entirely of dogs, and perhaps the most legendary episode is just an episode where the audience and guests Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas try to guess the contents of a giant dumpster on stage. For God's sakes, they had a person whose entire job was just to do hula hoop tricks the entire time. So we have an experimental variety talk show where they would take calls from the audience, typically around a topic announced for the episode, and they would often have a gimmick for the night. Sound familiar? John Mulaney is... Okay, you know who he is. That's why you clicked on the video. But for those unaware, Mulaney is a comedy writer, turned stand-up comic, turned performer, turned talk show host. He had a show called Everybody's in LA during Netflix's A Joke Fest, and Everybody's Lives is a spin-off of that. It's an experimental variety talk show where they would take calls from the audience, typically about a topic announced for the episode, and they'd often have a gimmick surrounding the night. Mulaney has often gone on record saying that his hero and model for his career is Conan O'Brien, and many people have cited that O'Brien's late night run is the main inspiration and comparison for the show. Most people saying this are Twitter users born in the mid to late 2000s. One week Mulaney is blindfolded for the full runtime. In the finale, he fights 3 14-year-old boys. One of the best things about these shows is the absolute lack of a contingency plan. I know it sounds like a bad thing, but it really shows how much they try to force the comedy to come out of situations. For example, in the previously mentioned One Man's Trash episode of The Chris Gethard Show, the whole episode hinges on the dumpster. Gethard flat out admits this.
If you guess right away, we have no backup plan.
My entire point of making this video is to get you to watch The Chris Gethard Show, to be honest. Just about every episode is available on YouTube, so please support John Mulaney and Chris Gethard because we don't need to pit two queens against each other.
Welcome back to Talking Bread!
So we now have a show within a show within a show.
Yes.
Yeah.
We now
we're
talking bread.
we're 3 shows in.
Let's get yeasty
To be
and let it rise to the top.
We're the Yeasty Boys. Here we are. Talking bread.
Check your bread.
To be fair, this is just a podcast.
Yeah.
This is a
Some
podcast.
ill commune of
within.
bacon.
Hey!
No, everyone hated my